Hello everyone and welcome to installment number 5 of how to create your own Power App. Up to this point we've created a drop down with 100 different randomized names. We use ChatGPT to help us with those randomized names. We have a button that collects the same static data, so every time it's going to collect this data, which is then displayed in this gallery here we made with our column headers and then a little divider between the two. So this button collects the data. So the question now is, what do we do from here? I don't want to see all of the data necessarily all the time. So let's start with putting a filter. So whatever name we choose here will then translate here to be the only information we see. So in order to do that, you first have to start with your drop down. You have to go to your properties over here, and we have to use the on change property. You don't want to use the on select, because if you use the on select, that's just if they basically click it, your function will go through. So you want the on change. When they make a change to a different name, then we want the action to take place. And what action do we want? Um, um, we want to set a variable, and this I mentioned. We have collections, which is what this is. It's basically an array of data. A collection, and sorry if you're not familiar, an array of data is like a table-like structure where you have multiple rows and multiple columns. Um, a variable is typically just a text string of information. It's not an array, a table-like structure. It's just a string value. It could just be a number, a name, just most of the time it's just one item versus a collection which is many items. So on the onChange property here, we're going to need to set this variable. So we use set. Set is the global variable. So set will keep your variable the way you set it throughout any screen you transition to. That variable will stay set the same until you set it to a different value or text information or whatever you're setting it to. It'll stay the same. There is a different way to set a variable that's an update context. So you can update a context variable, but that's just within the screen. That's not a what they call like a universal variable that would transition from screen to screen. So in this instance, we're just going to set a variable. Let's call because we always want to start our variables with var, our collections with col. It really helps us see. I know I already have other variables in here, but it helps me identify that these are variables and not collections in the end, especially if you end up with hundreds of them. It makes your life a lot easier. So this, let's call var, what these are now customers, right? Var cust name. Okay, see, I already have a var customer name. So let's do var cust name, and we're gonna set that to, oh, I can't set it to this item. I believe this item dot selected. With the drop downs, it makes you actually use the drop down. So it's set this, so you have to use drop down 3. This one is, we can see that down here. Drop down 3, and you can tell here it's asking for more information. So if you're ever unsure, just put a period and see what happens. Oh, look, it's giving us essentially all the items properties, but the top one, it's kind of giving you a hint here. Hey, click this one, selected text. So this will set the variable to the selected text, which would be Aaron in this case, but I would have to change it first. So if I was to change it to Alex, and then we go and we look at our variable name is Alex. So now we have created a variable that we can use to filter this data set. So we don't have to see everybody, we can just see Alex. And that's actually very simple. All we do is, you guessed it, filter. There is a filter function. Filter our cold data, which is populating this, and then you're going to do a comma, and then we need the filter if what equals what. So we want the name if the name equals our new variable var cus name. Filter. Oh, okay. Perfect example. I'm glad this happened because this has happened to me a million times before, and the first time it happened, I'm like, what? What? This has to work. This should be working. But you see how it says incompatible types for comparison. These types can't be compared. Text dot and then a record. It's funny how long something like this might take you to figure out when all you have to do at the end of your variable is hit a period and then click the value, and all of that goes away. so so did a lot of research to figure that out in the past, so I'll save you some time there. So now we're filtering our gallery, filter cold data, comma, name equals var cus name dot value that we're selecting here. So we can see that, oh, we selected Alex, so only Alex's information is in here. How about Anthony? Oh, yep, Anthony has an instrument. All right, Caleb. So that shows you how we can now filter this information. Stay tuned for my next video because we're going to add another drop down that we can filter by items ordered. We're going to start working this into a customer order system so we can see who ordered what, how we can start processing their orders. So not only will we be able to search by name here, we will be able to search by item ordered, and then that will group more items together that we can then get total quantities and create customer orders for the same items, and a lot of good stuff coming. So again, I greatly appreciate you watching. I know some of these videos can be kind of lengthy. Um, really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.